everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I have a design team project from Country Craft Creations to show you. Aren't these colors fabulous? They came from the Life is Beautiful collection. It is inspirational, such bright colors, and so fun to create with. I do have the 8x8 paper pad. It comes in the 12x12 as well, but the 8x8 was perfect to make these. I'm calling them inspirational journals because that's what they are. Let's start with, and the reason I did 3 is because I wanted to show you a couple of different ways of binding. I suppose I still could do one with the traditional mini album binding, and that's on the list to do, but I wanted to get these out and give you some ideas. So I'm going to start with the beautiful Life is Beautiful. I love this pattern. It's just pretty. I love pink. I think maybe that's why I liked it. So the cover is just done in this paper. I had taken chipboard and used some, I'm trying to get it out of my drawer, Ranger Tim Holtz Distress Paint and salvaged patina. So it's just chipboard that I painted. I had to do 2 coats of it, but that's fine. And then I have a layer of light green My Colors cardstock. I will put the name of the colors in the description box because I can't remember the names of the colors offhand. This is one of the border strips. This is one of the cut aparts. Well, if you get the 12x12, you'll get the cut aparts cut, I believe, but I hand cut it. So Life is Beautiful. So inside I've got a pocket in just one of the little cut aparts. And that's the back of one of the cut aparts. That's the paper on the back. But isn't it beautiful? Don't you love that pattern? So I was thinking of sort of a gratitude journal. As I do the video, you'll see other ideas of how to use this. But this is the paper on a piece of the My Colors cardstock. And then we've got some lined paper so you can write in. And then the next section has the Stand a Little Taller with a sort of a turquoisey blue, a blue cardstock. And that has some plain copy paper. And then the next section is the purple My Colors cardstock. And that's got more lined paper. So that gets a little funky. So then this will open. What I need to do is make the holes a little bigger just so things move. There's the inside back cover, and there is the back. And if I had some bright pink and green ribbon, I would tie it here. I don't have any right now, and I'm not in a position to go get some. I'll try to do maybe put it on my Instagram, which is Project 39 Design, when I get the ribbon. So there is that. This one is sort of a traveler's notebook style with a laminated cover. I didn't put a cut apart on there. Basically, I forgot, but I do have this Tim Holtz. I'm trying to see what they call it. I have the package readily available. No, of course I don't. I just did a craft show on my channel and I cleaned, so now I can't find anything. But I inked it. First I used the Distress paint, and then I used some clear embossing powder, and then I had some foundations in gold to just have the gold similar to the gold in the paper. So that'll open like this, and then it opens up. I don't have a pocket, and I know sometimes traveler's notebooks you'll have a little piece with a folder. I haven't done that yet, but it opens up with this one. Into the Forest I Go. So there is some watercolor paper. So great if you're feeling artistic. There is the back of that. So I just took this one paper and folded it in half. And then this paper, there was 3 papers that had a larger title on it. So I just folded them in half, rounded the corners. This one has the plain copy paper, and then set your course and sail, and that's got the lined writing paper. And there's the inside back cover and the outside back cover, And again, that just goes around like that, and that holds it closed. So there is number 2. Number 3, I used my mini cinch to bind it. I know not everybody has that, and that's why I gave you the other options. So I've got this paper on the front and this cut apart, which I of course put down with 2 different layers, and I used the 1/4 inch corner rounder for that. So this says a kind word is like a spring day, and then this is all be the reason someone smiles today. I love that sentiment. I mean, wouldn't it be great if you started your day, be the reason someone smiles today? I love that. So anyhow, inside front cover, I love how these colors mix and mingle, and the stand a little taller is a great sentiment. So there is lined paper, and I tell you in the video following why I use this yellow. And then here's, so I have sort of each section, I have, I guess you'd call them signatures. So I have the section with the yellow lined paper with the stand a little taller. So there's that. And then the She Whispered Back, I Am the Storm, has some color copy paper. I didn't have very much of it, so I put in everything I had. You know, maybe put Bible verses or random acts of kindness you've seen or done or want to do or whatever. And then with Brave Wings, She Flies. That's fabulous, but so is the B side of that. And I have some plain white copy paper for that. So there is that section. There's the back of that. Here's the back inside cover, and there's the back cover. So the following tutorial will show you pretty quickly how I did them. I mean, basically these two are similar as far as cutting. This one's a little bit different, but not difficult. So let me show you how to do all of these. All right, let us start. First of all, you need an 8x8 paper pad. I am using the fabulous Life is Beautiful because it's got all of these inspirational quotes on it, and a lot of the quotes are meaningful. I need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 8.5 by 4.5, and I did use some salvaged patina distress paint. I used a paintbrush and painted around the edges after I used my crocodile corner punch with the 1/2 inch. So that is the foundation of the covers. And then I needed 4 various colors of cardstock. I used mostly my colored cardstock. I'll have to list in the description box the colors because I don't remember what they are. And you will need to punch 1 corner, but just figure out, I know this is going to be on the front, so I know that the corner punch will be on the right hand side. Then you'll need 1 on the left hand side for the inside front, 1 on the right hand side for the inside back, and 1 on the left hand, or 1 set really, for the outside back. And then do the same with your cardstock. So just make sure you get the right colors where you want. And then I cut 4 pattern paper by 4 1/8 by 8. It's already 8 inches. So basically what I'm doing is layering, because a lot of the pages are going to be I'm not sure if it's going to be 8 or 8 1/4. I haven't figured that out yet. But in order to use the 8-inch paper, I needed an extra layer, which really is fabulous because it really calls to attention all of the beautiful colors. So then we will go ahead and layer, and then I'll probably put one of the cut-aparts up here. I am not sure yet whether I'm going to use one of the label cut-aparts or these. Now this would make more sense because they're bigger. Again, this is the 8x8 inch pad. I mean, that would, strong women don't wilt, they bloom, which is apropos for the beautiful flowers. But she has fire in her soul and grace in her heart. Intelligent, strong, and amazing is another great quote, and that would look fabulous on there just because of the colors. A kind word is like a spring day. Stand a little taller. Not all who wander are lost. If this is going to be a travel journal, I would do that. Well, it doesn't have to be. And then they whispered to her, you cannot withstand the storm. She whispered back, I am the storm. So love that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but you'll find out soon, I'm sure. So I'm going to put all these together and then show you what I end up with. Oh, lastly, you will need, I'm going to put a pocket on the inside just because I feel like that's important. So cut a piece of scrap paper, one of the My Colors cardstock, by 5 5/16 by 3 1/2. And then the pattern paper for the pocket is 4 5/16 by 3. And of course we're going to score on 3 sides at 1/2 inch, and that will make the pocket. You will have to make sure you round the corner. So I will go ahead and put that all together. You want to stay around and see? You sure can. But I will do it in fast motion. Okay, and there we go. The front and the back covers. I love that. I love that. I love that. And I love that. I love it all. All right, now what I have to do is cut down paper for the inside. So here's the thing. It's difficult to find paper that doesn't have the lines on it. This I got from Dollar Tree in their back to school section. I don't know if it's something they're going to carry all the time. I didn't see it after that initial purchase. So you may have to find a computer program that you can print and just print out. Now this is obviously going to be too big, so I'm going to have to cut it down. I'm going to, these are actually legal pads here. Here's the, there's 25 sheets. I'm pulling off about 12. I don't know exactly how many. And I'm going to have to cut it down. So let me figure out what the measurements are going to be, and then I'll come back and let you know. All right, I have cut that lined paper 8 inches, and it's of course 8 1/2. I'm going to score it, let me see, probably take it in 2 or 3. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. I've got a couple of sheets in this one, maybe 3 in that one. you know, you can score a couple at a time because the paper is thin. But just be careful you don't rip it. So scoring that at 4 1/4, however many sheets you want to put in it. I mean by half, because it's going to be folded in half and doubled. So I will move the scoreboard, and I think I'm just going to fold it on that score line. And you could, of course, just cut this in half, cut each piece, because it's going to be in the binder. But I sort of want them to stay together as a book. Oops. And now I'm going to take that whole conglomeration. Now, if you don't have a trimmer that will do this for you, you can just cut each piece at a time and have it single. But I am fortunate that I can cut it all. You know what that is? Fire starter for my s'mores. Okay, so we've got that. It's not the best cut, but it'll work. I'm also going to take some plain paper, some plain white paper, and that'll be 2 sections as well. I'm going to put that aside and we'll go through that in a little bit. So here's my dividers that are 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and then I have my 3 sheets of paper. 2 of them have a, should I do this one? Because they have quotes on them, and I'm wondering if I should do ones with the quotes. That's what I'll do. Stand a little taller. They whispered to her, and she whispered back, I am the storm, and start each day with a grateful heart. So I am going to cut them each 4 by 8. So they're 8 by 8. We're just obviously going to cut it in half. And again, I'm fortunate my trimmer will let me do 3 sheets at a time. If yours does, that's fabulous. If not, just do whatever works for you. This one will go with that. That will go with that. Wait, nope. So this will go with that, just because there's more colors in there. And this will go with the blue. Yeah, let's just go with that. So one I'm going to round on the right side, and one I'm going to round on the left side. So you have 3 pages of, gosh, isn't that pretty? That'll go on the back. I love that. So I'm cutting 2 at a time, but the patterns to the inside. Now you could just use the paper, or you could just use cardstock. Sorry, I've made a mess. I will move things so it's not so messy. Whatever you want as a divider. If you want a divider at all, you could just have this a journal without any dividers. But I thought that it could be used as a divider. I mean, one part of it would be a gratitude journal. Another part, did I want to do that? Well, I can't go that way, can I? I could. I think I might. Another one could be positive self-affirmations. I mean, I know it sounds all mumbo-jumbo psychology stuff, but you know, why not? One could be good things you see each day. You know, you see somebody put their change in the change bucket at the store, or help someone cross the street. I don't know if they do that anymore. Or just maybe you see a bird and it just was pretty to you and you just wanted to acknowledge the beauty of that bird. Whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want it to be. Or if you're going to give it to someone, if you know they're going through a hard time, you could write the positive affirmations. You know, just write down each day, or write down for every other day or something, the things you like about that person. You like how they handle things with grace. What am I doing here? And that one will go this way. So then obviously that's right side up. And then this one, oh, well, okay. Oh, I didn't do this backwards. All right, that's just how I did that. I wasn't thinking about doing the plain side until later. Don't you love this paper? It looks like it actually has gold flecks in it. Okay, so we have our cover with the pocket. Then we have some writing paper, and again, you could do writing paper in the whole thing. Oh, after the cover is start each day with a grateful heart, and that is my intention, to have a gratitude journal. And then it'll be stand a little taller, and then I'm going to have some, I'm going to have plain paper, and then the next one I will have lined paper. So let me get that all together. All right, I made holes. I put one in the middle. Now I'm looking, it may not be exactly the middle, but it's close enough. And then went 1 inch up from the bottom, 1 inch down from the top. So I'm going to use that as my template, and I'll center that on there, put a dot, and do that for everything that's going to be hole punched. So everything inside there. And then we'll go ahead and punch. And then I do have my rings ready. And as I get my holes punched, I can add my rings. So there's that. The next one. The next one. Etc., etc. So I'll do all that and we'll get it together, and then I'll show you where I am. Okay, and that is how I made the ring-bound notebook. The next one we're going to do is the traveler's notebook. So let's get started on that. All right, to start this traveler's notebook, I have a piece of cardstock that's 9.5 by 8 1/4. I have the 9.5 side up at the top, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. And I'm going to lightly score at 4 3/4. Oops. just so I know where the middle is. I am going to grab my corner chomper. It's the Weir Memory Keepers one with a 1/2 inch and 1/4, and I'm going to corner around all 4 corners. All right, now I've already cut this paper in half at 4 inches. I'm going to round, this will be on the cover, so I'm going to round the right hand side 2 corners. And this will be the back, so I'm going to round the left hand side 2 corners. And then I cut another piece 7/8 of an inch, and that's going to go on the spine. I'm going to add glue and glue those 3 pieces down. Isn't this color paper so beautiful? The colors are so vibrant. So that's going to go down on the front, and this will go on the back. Okay, and now on the inside covers, yeah, this will go on the inside front cover. It's the same as the other paper, but I just like the trees. So this will go here. And you could make a pocket, but I'm not going to put it in now. The best thing to do is a separate pocket, which will, I'll show you how to do that. Alright, and this is the inside back cover. Now all this is going to go through my laminator. So I have a pouch. I know it's got a little crease in it, but that won't show. So I'm just going to put that in the envelope or the pouch. And a lot of times I'll use this and make a bookmark or something, but I'm not going to. Let me go put it in the laminator. I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so you can tell by the glare that that has been laminated. And let's fit in here. I don't know if I can cut it down with this mini trimmer. Nope, can't do that. Anyhow, while I'll cut the excess lamination off. But let's go ahead and rescore. And to do that, it's not going to fit on here against the edge of it because we've added some width now. So I'm putting it in where the center is and going to score again. Turn it over and score this way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and trim and round the corners again, and then I'll show you what we've got. Okay, so now I have these 3 pieces. These are going to be the covers for each of the Traveler's Notebook sections. So it's 8 by 8, and I've just rounded the corners, and I'm going to score each at 4. So this is paper that doesn't have the line on the side. It's hard to find. I found this at Dollar Tree. This is 8.5, and I'm going to actually try out about 10 pieces. I'm going to score. I'm dividing it up into groups and score at 4 1/4. And then these are 9 by 8. So I'm going to be cutting it down. So I'm going to score, and it's watercolor paper, and it's very thick. So I can only do one at a time. So score it 4 1/2 each one. It's only 3 pieces. I wish I had some thinner stuff. I would use more pages, but I don't. And then here is just some plain copy paper. I think it's 24 pound, and that's 8.5. So I'm going to score that at 4 1/4 in groups of, I don't know, 3 or 4 sheets. Okay, now I'm grabbing my cutting board. And I'm going to put all this together and fold on the score line, each section at a time. I'm going to take this one cover and put that all in there. Should I staple it first? I don't think I will. Alright, I want to make sure I'm not cutting this cover piece. Had to take some out so it's not as bulky. And then around the corners of this, and I'm going to do the same with this. And put that in. I don't want to cut this, so I'm pulling it out of the way. Okay. So around those corners too. And here's the final one. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is cut it at 4. So have the folded end against the 4-inch mark. raggedy. I'll have to fix that, but that will go in that book. All right, let me get that all together around the corners. I'll show you what we got. Okie dokie. So now we're going to staple these in. And I don't have a long arm stapler, and this is off by 1/4 inch, so I'm opening it up. Make sure everything's in. And I've got 5 or 6 layers of fun foam. One's the thick fun foam. And I'm going to lay my item on there, put my stapler, and it gets it right where it needs to go. That's fabulous. And do one here. That one didn't work. There we go. And I will take I'm going to use a screwdriver and push in the staples. So there we are. I'll go ahead and use my bone folder on that in a little bit, but let me make sure this one is all even. And again, I'll take, oops. I don't want it to move while I'm stapling it. Okay. Okay, there's 2, and the final one. Now I'll take my stapler, line it up where it needs to be. You see I had bright pink staples in there. Okay. All right, look at those cute little booklets. Aren't they great? So now they will go into here, but let's grab our hole punch. I'm using the smaller one, and we're going to make 3 holes, and that's why I had you score in the center. I'll do it from here because you can see it. I'm going to go in about 3/8 of an inch. Go in the center, one to the right, one to the left. Do it on the other side. And then we need a hole right there. And again, I don't have a long arm that will reach. But what I do have is the old-fashioned way. And there we go. All right, let's grab some elastic and then I'll show you what we're doing. Okay, there we go. That's much better. All right, I took elastic, and to figure out how much you need, I wrap it around loosely. Don't pull it tight. So 3 lengths. So there's 2 on this side, 1 on that side. And now I'm going to start from the back, or the front actually, and go to the inside and go through the hole. Or you could, if you wanted to, use eyelets. Do I want to do that? Not for this one. And then go to the inside and go to the center hole. And the length of your cord is going to be all on the inside. Go to the, come back to the bottom. So I have that much. And now come to the center hole. And from here, go to the center hole as well. And now tie a knot. Don't have very much left over. And there we go. So you've just got it on the outside. And now for this one, I used to have some beautiful turquoise. So I'll do 2 lengths and 1 inch, which is more than I need. And I'm going to use this. So this was the Tim Holtz token. I inked it and used some turquoise embossing glaze. And then I'm going to put both sections in here. And we'll tie a double knot. Cut that down. Okay, and we'll fold and fold, and then let's add in our pieces. So I'm going to take this one and put that in the front. So it matches. And then the next one. And then the third, which actually has the writing paper. And then I'll close that. put that around. I'll have to tighten that. But there we go. Very simple. Cute traveler's notebook. Good for inspiration and that kind of thing. Probably could have put something on the front, but maybe next time. All right, that's what we have for the second one. All right, and the third book we're going to make, I'm going to use my mini cinch. There are other spiral, well, it's not really spiral. There are other binding systems. I know, is it the Nutter? I don't know. And there's a regular size cinch, and they all would work just as well. And I'm going to use that. Now the measurements for the cover and the pages are exactly the same as the one we did with the ring binding system. The difference is how you're going to bind it. So let me get everything in here, or let me show you what we're going to have. So here's the front cover. There's the back cover. I love that. That was on the back of one of the cut apart section, but this is beautiful, isn't it? And I know eventually I'll put something up at the top, some other decoration. I'm not sure what. I used for the paper in here, because I ran out of that lined paper, I used a mini legal pad. It's already 8 inches tall. I had to cut about 1 inch off of it, and then I cut about 1/8 of an inch off the top because that was easier than pulling each piece apart, because it was glued at the top. So it's yellow. If I had white, I would be happier, but oh well, it's what I have. So there is the front, the inside, the back of that section. Then I used regular copy paper. So there's the front, the inside, there's the paper, and there's the back. And then I had a couple of pieces of color copy paper, not many, that's all I had, but I figured I'd use that in this one section. You know, those important notes that you really want to get ingrained in your brain, you can use that color copy paper. All right, now let me get this set up and we will punch holes. Okay, with the mini cinch you get this little guide thing, and it tells you if you have a page that is a whole inch or a half an inch, you use the A. If you have a 1/4 or 1/8 or 5/8, then you use the B setting. So we're going to use the A. So I put this little thing here, and that tells you where to start. I'm going to make sure this is all together and all to the bottom, and that's where we start. And then we take that out and go match this up. Lift that up. Whoops, I missed a spot. So there's a little place to put this little peg in. Uh-oh, I don't know that I kept it straight. It'll eventually correct itself, but see here, I went too close to the edge, but over here will be good, and I'll re-punch that, so it'll stay in the book. But I need to put that where it needs to go and punch. Okay, see, these are in the right spot, even though those are a little wonky. It'll work. It's not perfect, but it'll work. All right, same with this. It needs to be put into the A, and we start. Hold it. Make sure it's pushed up to the back. That was my mistake last time. Probably need to take some pages out because it's very thick. And I can't push it. My husband probably could, or somebody strong. See? Much better. Let me take that out. And then push this in. So this little thing you push into one of the holes, and that way it stays lined up. And then we move the next one, so the last hole is here. You put it into the second to the last hole. Push it down so it stays in place. And there we go with that. I'll put that over here, and then I'll do the other half of that, starting with the A. Second to the last hole. Make sure it's pushed. I'm not that strong. That's why it's a hassle for me. Not a hassle. It's just I'm not that strong. But I did it. All right, let's do the stand a little taller, especially while we punch. Put that in the A. Oops. Put that in. And then one more. Okay. And then we'll get this part of it, and then we're done with the punching of the pages. Then I have to do the cover. So you only need this when you're doing the first punch in a set of pages. And then you take it out, because then you use this little thing. Alrighty, one more. Okay, put that over there. Now, let's do the front cover. So, the way I do it is I mark the center, and on the machine, it tells you where the center is. So I'm going to do that. And then we go and then turn it over to get the last holes. So we'll do the same with the back cover. It is 8.5, so I mark 4 1/4 for the center. It's pretty hard to do. Need some muscles there. Turn it over. All right. Oh, got that done. Okay, now I'm going to take my coils, and there's a spot on this mini cinch to put them on. And I put the instructions here because I don't always get it right. So, we're going to start with this. So, thread inside pages, then front, then back cover. Inside pages, I'm going to do the white first, then the colors ones in the center, and then the lined paper will be first. And then now that I know how much of the coil I need, then I'll go ahead and cut it off. I just cut it in the center of the coil. I will take needle nose pliers and bend this one eventually. Okay, then front then back cover. Do we do it this way? Yes. So you see the inside of the back cover. So that is what we need to do with that. And then this part of the machine is where it pushes the coils down. So they're sort of oval when you start. You don't want to have them, you want to put it in oval. So I start in the center. I don't know if that's right, but that's how I do it. And then I push. I don't push it all the way. I do the top, and then I do the bottom. And then I go ahead and do it all the way through. All right, now I'll grab my needle nose pliers and bend this piece just to go in as opposed to pointing out, so that way it doesn't scratch anyone. Okay. And make sure this side okay, then you take the back cover and you move it around to the front, and there you go. There is our little book. I like this better than the ring binding, but I know that not everybody has a cinch or whatever it is. All right, I am going to finish decorating these, and you've already seen the walkthrough of the different traveler's notebooks or little notebooks. Isn't this paper gorgeous though? I think it's all fantastic. So those are my 3 versions of how to use Life is Beautiful and make 3 inspirational journals that you can use for yourself or give to a friend. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, just so I know that this is the kind of thing you want to see. I'd love if you subscribed. I'd love to keep my counts up so so you keep seeing my videos. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.